The borrowed materials like pictures, background music, videos, brand names, trademarks, and others used in these materials for educational purposes are owned by the respective copyright holder. Credit goes to the original owners, and the author does not represent nor claim any ownership over them.
Science time, it's science time. Let's all be ready now. It's science time. What do we do during science time? We observe, we compare, identify, classify, infer, test, hypothesize. We read a lot, understand them well. Science facts we do.
Amazing day, little scientist! Welcome to Valenzuela Facebook Live Streaming School. I am Teacher Mean from Andres Mariano Elementary School, and I believe you are all excited to learn. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy learning. Based on the most essential learning competencies of Science Grade 5, here are the objectives that will guide us along the way. For today's lesson, you are able to compare mechanical and chemical weathering. Now for our house rules, to actively participate in our lesson, you may type #weathering along with your complete name and the name of your school for me to acknowledge your presence, just like the example. And if you have questions, clarifications, reactions, and comments, just feel free to type it down in the comment section. I'll be glad to answer some of your questions after the lesson. You may also bring out your pen and paper that you could use in jotting down some important concepts in our lesson. Today, we are going to play. I believe you are all familiar with the game 4 Picks 1 Word. It's a word guessing game which I will present you with 4 pictures and then task you with guessing what specific word fits the theme of the photos presented. I want every one of you to type your answers in the comment box below. Let's begin. I'm going to give you 10 seconds to think of the word. Great! If your answer is mechanical, you are correct. Next, okay, I can see your answers. Great! The correct word is chemical. You are all genius. Next is the Rambo letter game, wherein you will arrange the jumbled letters to form the correct word. It is the breaking down of rocks into fragments. Type in your answers. Very good. The answer is weathering. Next word. It is the study of the earth, the materials of which it is made, the structure of those materials, and the processes acting upon them. It includes the study of organisms that have inhabited our planet. Key in your answers. Good job, kids. The answer is geology. How about the person who studied geology and make geologic investigation. They also study the Earth, its history, nature, materials, and processes. Great job! The answer is geologist. Now, are you familiar with the picture behind me? The picture shows the Kapurpurawan Rock Formation in Burgos, Ilocos Norte. Have you been there? Well, if that is so, great! Our country is renowned tourist spot because of its beautiful beaches and historical places. It has also breathtaking rock formations that are really amazing to look at. Have you ever wondered how these rocks were formed? Earth is mainly composed of rocks that vary in sizes, shapes, and colors. Rocks do not remain the same as when they were first formed. They undergo some changes. Big rocks may be broken into small fragments or smaller fragments, while rough rocks may become smooth. Rocks may be broken physically into small pieces, or they may also be broken as a result of change in chemical composition. So we call the breaking of rocks into fragments as weathering. Weathering is the wearing away of the surface of the rock, soil, and minerals into smaller pieces. Also, it is an important process that helps shape the Earth's surface. The breaking of rocks result to formation of soil and different landforms. This is also the reason why we have amazing rock formations. Now let us watch this short video clip which will show us the type of weathering. Let us watch and observe. Okay, so in our video presented, we can say that there are types of weathering. Weathering can be either be mechanical or chemical. We can say that mechanical weathering is happening when the rock breaks down into smaller pieces called sediments. This is due to physical forces such as earthquakes, landslides, water and temperature without changing the mineral compositions of the rocks. While in chemical weathering, it involves the exposure of rocks to certain naturally occurring acid that change these rocks into other materials with new properties. Now let us have an activity. This is a word chase. I want you to find in the puzzle what are the agents of weathering. The words can either seen horizontally, vertically, or diagonally. I will give you 10 seconds to find them. Okay, great. I can see all your answers. So the agents of weathering are water, wind, plants, animals, temperature, and human. Great job, kids. Now we are going to discuss the agents of weathering and classify them into chemical or mechanical. Water. It is one of the most common agents of weathering. It can break rocks in different waves, like strong waves or cold water. Water seeps in through some opening or fissures in rocks. When water freezes, it expands and enlarges these openings. The continued expansion eventually breaks the rocks into fragments. This process is called frost wedging. Another mechanical agent is the wind. It causes many beautiful rock formations like the Mahayaw Arc in Sabang Island, Batanes. As the wind blows, it carries sand or small rock particles that scratch the rock surface. Wind is an example of abrasive agents, as well as the running water and ice. They sometimes carry rock fragments or sand grains that act like sandpaper whenever they strike the surfaces of rocks. This process of wearing away rocks due to the scoring action of particles is called abrasion. Next is the plant or plants. Plants also become agents of weathering when they grow on rocks. Some of the plants that grow on rocks are lichens, ferns, and mosses. As these plants grow, they squeeze and cause rocks to crack. Eventually, these cracks would bigger and will cause rock to break into pieces. This process is called root wedging. Another mechanical agent is or are the animals. Animals that live underground also contribute to weathering. As burrowing animals dig deeper, they cause rocks to break down into pieces too. Temperature, when rocks expand, when it is exposed to high temperature, and it also contracts when it is exposed to low temperature. The repeated expansion and contraction of rocks due to changes in temperature results to weathering. We also have humans. Humans also contribute to the weathering of rocks. A simple kicking of rocks can cause weathering already. Some construction workers use jackhammer to break boulders of rocks as they repair roads. Next are the chemical agents of weathering. First is the oxygen. Oxygen combined with iron to produce iron oxide or rust. This type of chemical reaction is called oxidation. Rocks with iron-rich minerals are easily oxidized, thus producing rusty colors on their surfaces. Rust softens the rock. We also have carbon dioxide. It also plays a role in chemical weathering. When carbon dioxide from the atmosphere dissolves in rainwater, carbonic acid is formed. Precipitation that contains carbonic acid reacts with the material in rocks in a process called carbonation. Carbonic acid can easily weather marble and limestones. Water. Water weathers rock either by dissolving their minerals to form a solution or by combining directly with some minerals to form new minerals. Both processes occur as a result of chemical reaction called hydration. Plants and animals may create chemical weathering through the release of acidic compounds. The most common form is the release of acid by plants, which break aluminum and iron-rich compounds in soils beneath them. Decaying remains of dead plants and animals in soil may also form organic acids, which, when dissolved in water, affect surrounding rocks and soil. Now it's trivia time. Did you know that the Appalachian Mountains in the eastern North America used to be higher than Mount Everest? But millions of years, they have been worn down due to weathering and erosion. Now let us have a science check. Type or click the like emoji if the statement shows mechanical weathering and heart emoji if the statement shows chemical weathering. Number 1, the carbonate compounds dissolved in water can easily erode rocks. Okay, the answer is heart emoji. You are correct. Number 2, a jackhammer breaks away slabs of bedrock. Click like for mechanical and heart for chemical. Good, the answer is like emoji. You are great. Number 3, waves crash onto rocks along the shore. The answer is like. Great job. Number 4, acidic water seeps into the holes in rocks and dissolve them. If you answered heart, you are awesome. And lastly, the roots of a mango tree cracks a concrete pavement. The answer is like emoji. You are all genius. So to sum up the important takeaways of our lesson, kindly complete the paragraph that I will present. Rocks blank because they are exposed or subjected to the actions of water, wind, temperature, animals, and humans. The breaking down of rock is called blank. What are the missing words in the paragraph? I will give you time to key in your answers. Think of it. Okay, great. The words are break and weathering. Rocks break because they are exposed or subjected to the actions of water, wind, temperature, animals, and humans. The breaking down of rock is called weathering. Also, we can say that physical wearing of rock is called mechanical weathering, while the change in the composition of rocks as they break down in pieces is called chemical weathering. Now, let us have our science challenge to test our understanding about the lesson. Identify the change happening in each situation. Write MW for mechanical weathering and CW for chemical weathering. I hope you got it all correct. So before we end, let us try to sum up the important concepts that we learned today. Rocks break because they are exposed or subjected to the action of water, wind, temperature, animals, plants, and humans. The breaking down of rock is called weathering. So for your home task, use a Venn diagram and write down the similarities and differences of chemical and mechanical weathering. So let us call it a day. Thank you for your active participation. Once again, I'm Teacher Mean from Andres Mariano Elementary School, reminding you to stay safe and stay healthy. Adios!